being human with you. No evil, you need to know evil to truth seek. Unbelief we must reconcile, see, hear and speak. No greater cause than to let the secret of love's light leak. Unpause no more, open the truth and cry out, see, hear and speak. No blind light to lose your way, no deaf ear to truth today. No voiceless heart, let me hear you say, see, hear, and speak. Welcome to Being Human with You, Episode 1. It's now official. You can listen in Spotify, you can watch on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Ray Coates Voice. In Spotify, if you search Being Human with You, you will find the podcast. Share far and wide. Why? Because I feel there is a place for content that is life-affirming, upbuilding, uplifting, encouraging us to be human, rather than perhaps belief systems that are external to being human. They could be political, they could be scientific, they could be religious, they could be academic. So rather than talking about those things too much, the alternative, if you like, is actually rooted in being human. And we're beginning with communication. And of course, that's a wonderful place to begin. So over the last few weeks, I've put out to several individuals, what type of things can we talk about? Because of course it is ultimately us. It's us having a conversation. There may be guests in the future. There may be discussions across a number of individuals already. A TikTok walk and talk. Sarah reached out, SJ Bonnie Lass in TikTok, and said, do you mind if I join you in the live? Did. And we had a fantastic conversation about trust. And I will be sharing that across the next few weeks. So therefore, that's a wonderful example. And this is rooted in where we're taking this conversation from. Communication amongst human beings. And I want to extend this thought to people that we don't know. Strangers, if you like. Those that we've not had a previous relationship with. People that we come to connect with in our day-to-day life. It could be at the shops, it could be at work, it could be passing somebody on the street. How can we return to initiating conversation? And again, I'm just going to put a caveat here. There are times when all of us need our own time, our own space. So very tongue-in-cheek, I'm not stating that we're now just going to break out into conversation all of the time with people. Sometimes it's not the right time. But that contact of, rather than continually, incessantly, walking along with head down, head bowed, no eye contact with people we don't know. I understand in certain contexts, because I can already feel the comments filling up with adverse reaction to that, which is fine. This is not a revolutionary idea. These are things that have been around for a long time, and I'm sure as well, here's perhaps a thought for the comments. You already do this, and how do you successfully manage to engage with as many people in a day as possible? Communicating. Maybe sometimes those initial contact moments then develop into a fuller conversation. So that's initiating, that's beginning, that's thinking of starting. What about when we're in situation, perhaps it might be within the workplace, it could be within some other activities that we're doing. I think before I started recording this first episode, I went to the local shops. I was probably walking round that shop for a good 15 or 20 minutes, as long as, ironically, this podcast that we're sharing together. So that's quite a period of time. And there is an opportunity potentially to have at least some engagement with others. Years ago, it came back to me as I was coming back from the shops. I asked somebody probably about 40 years ago, what are you up to later today? And the person was so suspicious, so untrusting. That's definitely a future topic, trust, very much so. That they said, you're nosy, aren't you? And it was genuinely, well, I don't particularly need to know. It's just a common courtesy to ask somebody what they're doing. A conversation starter, if you like. How do you do that? How do you find that you manage to connect with people that you don't know? And that's opening up fresh connection opportunities. If we found it difficult in the past and our trust has been betrayed, broken, not everybody is untrustworthy. I don't feel that's a naive comment to make. We have to be cautious, but how can we open up the initial conversation? So there's one question, there's one thought in this podcast episode. Remember, variety of ways. You may possibly watch this in YouTube while you're there. Like, comment, above all else, share, and subscribe as well. Then you might think, well, I'm off out in the car. 15-20 minutes each episode is going to be, and there's going to be Friday reflections as well. So this episode is airing on, I got it wrong the other day, it's airing on Monday, April the 13th, 2026, and the episode will remain. You're now in the car, you're now driving to work or wherever you are. You may feel inclined to think, I want to just listen again. I want to listen again because I want to think a little bit more about these thoughts, these opportunities of being human, and I would like to make a comment. So that gives you a chance then to reflect and share that. Some people prefer to listen, some people prefer to watch, some people like to do both. And that's why there will be the episode on the YouTube channel Ray Coates Voice, and also Spotify if you search Being Human with You. So that's initiating. How can we do that? How can we initiate a conversation? Could be a smile, could be a hello, how are you? Beautiful day, whatever it might be. I'm not necessarily making suggestions. This is not preaching. This is not teaching. This is sharing human experience. What about you? What about you? What do you think? Drop in the comments. And even if you've had the experience in the past of endeavoring to have that reaching out nature, that way of connecting with other people, yet that's not gone the way you wanted it to at times, how have you managed to keep going? How do you intend to keep going? Now we've started the conversation and somebody is joining us in that. Like I say, it could be at work. That right level, that right balance of sharing openly our feelings towards things, of course, in the environment we're being professional. I know within the driver training that I deliver. Yet I do like to share something with the other person so they know something about me. So, for example, I let them know in the time I'm not doing the work I'm doing with them, I'm a professional singer-songwriter, I'm a podcaster, I'm an actor, I'm an author, I do a few other bits and pieces. Now, by the time I've shared that, that really does bring down the barriers, because now the individual knows I'm more than the role I'm fulfilling in that time I'm spending with them. It also enables me to share with them the experience of what I do as somebody who has a creative, wandering mind. How do I manage to keep that focused whilst driving? Can you see where I'm coming from? So there's a benefit of that sharing. I know people discuss a lot about oversharing. I know people within counselling and within coaching. I understand that. But for me, why would I not want other people to know? Of course, we have to know that in certain settings, there's a line where we think, well, I'm going to share this, but I'm not necessarily going to share that. But there is a value. And what then happens is, and I've noticed this, individuals have communicated back to me in those environments of conversation more about themselves. They actually end up being more human. It depends on the person, because sometimes they're the one that generates that. I always thank somebody if they've shared something with me that has an element of vulnerability and fragility. It could be in driving, it could be in the creative communications that I have. I'm always grateful to that person, because I think that takes an immense amount of courage to share something that displays a vulnerability. I do that all the time through creativity, not just for myself, but with others. Over the years, over the last few years, I've collaborated with many individuals who have shared their life experience and the trauma that they've gone through and are going through. And they've shared that for the encouragement of others. I often think of the song Damaged. I'm not going to be playing that in this live, but if you check out my music, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube, Ray Coates, Raycoates, John Cheetham, particularly, lyricist, and John shared his life, and one song in particular, Damaged, as well, which covers so much emotionally for so many people. So can you begin to see where this discussion is coming from? Yes, of course, we have to share to the right person. We have to share the right amount. But my message is quite simple. If we don't, that really is tragic. If we don't at all, how then is anybody else going to gain? How are we going to gain? So this open discussion, men, women, with each other as well. And also, yes, men with men and women with women, in conversations around what it's like. But above all else, what it's like being human. And those type of conversations. So the more I feel this, there's no script, there's no predetermined, I don't have a teleprompter, nothing like that at all. It's from the heart with you, being human with you. And the people that are in this are me. I'm, if you like, the catalyst, the facilitator of these discussions, and you. Drop in the comments anything that you may feel you can add to, anything you'd like to expand on within this discussion. Very, very comment driven this podcast is. And the Friday reflections create that opportunity. So once this is out, April the 13th, Monday, Spotify, YouTube, boom. Fill your boots. That was the first thing I thought, with your humanity. And that's the topic this week. The subject is initiating human communication and endeavouring to open up a more equal, transparent, open, flowing human conversation experience. And of course, that requires us to hear from the other person, to encourage that. We're not digging deep. We're not interrogating. It's not an even a lighter version of that, an interview, so to speak. But we want to know something about that person, because that enables us. I know within training I do it, within TikTok lives. I love it when people comment while I'm singing. Sometimes I actually manage to bring the comments into a song that I'm singing. For a period of time, I was writing songs live with individuals. And it's just incredible, that process of the connection. Because through that creative medium, There's more within that than our own experience. We're enough on our own. Technically, to some degree, I mean, we do need other people within the structure of society, but we can make our own way. So this is not some needy requirement. I've felt that one shared with me in the past. This is promoting, encouraging a more open, fluid, at times vulnerable, fragile communication and conversation. What do you think? What do you think? There's the two parts to it, really. The initiating that communication with strangers, people that we don't know. So how can we open up the discussions, the conversations, the communication? And now we've begun, we've initiated, how then, at times, can we develop that into a fuller, broader communication? Because we and or the other person might be the person that's needed at that time, on that day, for the future well-being of the other person or ourselves. We could be the facilitator of that. That is what we're here for, I feel. I feel that's one of our fundamental reasons for being human, is that connection with others, including and also, very importantly, people we don't know, strangers. Love to know your thoughts. Going to play out with a couple of songs, and that will be a feature of what we're doing. Whether you're watching in YouTube, Ray Coates Voice, comment, like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things that you can do that will enable the conversation to grow and expand. Also do that with each other's comments. If there are clips of this that are being shared across social media platforms, join in the conversation, join in the communication, including with others. Who knows where that might go? And we're uplifting, we're elevating, we're being human. This is all about being human with you. Spotify, likewise, listening in the car, sharing it with others, encouraging people to listen safely. Very, very important. And we will continue to grow. We will continue to expand. Rather than the narrative of destruction, division, conflict, isolation, alienation, we are human beings and we have so much to offer ourselves and each other. So to play out, we're going to have the final track from the album that was released November last year, November 2025. And the album Inside of Me is really rooted in my own personal mental health journey, which is, of course, ongoing. And situations, circumstances, that makes it sound so light, that I faced about 18 years ago. And the album is very open, very fragile, very vulnerable. And it's not just talking about my emotions, it's communicating for many others too. The final track, so optimistic for the future from this day on. And in the video version, so if you're listening in Spotify, hop across to the YouTube channel, Ray Coates Voice, because the song is accompanied by Shawshank Redemption, a trailer, bits of clips, etc. And it works so brilliantly together, that optimistic view of the future. Also, from the upcoming album, Oversoul, The Reform, late spring, early summer, the album's going to be released. The track, Chronos, all about making the most of time, the time that we have. It's been amazing being with you. Remember all the things you can do, but above all else, if it's you're flicking a coin between liking or hearting and commenting, comment. That's the thing that I would love more than anything else, because then that opens the discussion for future episodes. Each week, Friday reflection, so that will be coming up this Friday. And then, I'll get it right this time, Monday, April the 20th, of course, will be episode 2. And I think we're going to be talking then about trust. Until then, keep being the amazing human being that you are. Keep being the living, breathing, walking, talking miracle that you are. Take care. Much love to you. Until next time. Bye-bye. From this day on, I sign off these songs, authentically yours. Forgetful thief, what did you achieve by gaining opinion at the doors? From this day on, if I ever bleed again, I'll bleed in my own time. Thank you. From this day on, I'll share inside of me the voice within so true. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, I belong. From this day on, the reflection in the mirror of me is no longer formed by your deceit. From this day on, whatever my name, I owe my life, and I've got the receipt. From this day on, father, mother, sisters, others, it's time for me to begin. From this day on, if you want to destroy me, then cast the first stone if you're without sin. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, I belong. From this day on, no more the easy enemy. From this day on, from this day on, I sign off authentically yours. Every one of these songs. From this day on, has begun. I've murdered the past at last. From this day on, not living in the past. The future is mine to hold fast. From this day on, from this day on, from this day on, from this day on, has begun. We belong. The future is ours to hold fast. From this day, from this day, from this day on. Okay, Mark, that's that. What's next? Evolution, revolution, creation. Is it time? Follow the science. Time's reliance. Is it flat or is it round? Money trial, blind compliance is the research found. Follow the trail, systems rigged to fail. Time marches to its own sound. Time flows. Hold it, don't waste it. Time
We are